and bring home real fucking money.
Excuse me.
But right now, it works for our schedule. They work around us needing to have weekends off, and you know, eventually, I haven't been here that long either. I think I've only been here, what, like 4 months, maybe 5 now.
Something like that, yeah.
So, so far, it's a good company in as a whole. It's a good position as a whole. It's a good schedule. It works for us, and I was able to get Uzi in there with me, which
What?
is probably the best part because you know that a lot of other companies are gonna have that
No
no family, no
couples. Yeah.
relationship rule.
Yeah.
And that's a
Well,
lot
here's the
now
thing.
because a
Like,
lot of companies have it now.
but
Yeah.
the thing that pisses me off the most with this entire process is this is like I am I'm educated. I have a college degree. I have all the experience in the world. Blah 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 blah. And you, me personally, I can relate directly to you, and I can understand where you're coming from. I can just by the conversations that we've had, and literally, like, none of this has been professional at all. If we were to sit down in a professional environment and go through interview processes, blah blah blah, whatever, but just the talk that you and I have had on a personal level, and seeing the way that you interact and seeing your opinions and the things that you value when it comes to approaching the customer or when it comes to talking to somebody, like, for me as a sales professional and looking to hire somebody, you have so much more value than someone that would provide an education and would provide a certain criteria that would be responsible for even applying to a certain job, which is a total different conversation in and of itself. But for me, that's where my challenges lie. Is like, I would like to find professionals that fit the mold, and it's so hard to fit the mold when they don't necessarily reach the certain criteria that are required for that particular position. I
Mhm.
would rather hire someone like you, who I know has the experience that it takes to talk to somebody, and then can also relate on that same level and speak to a personal customer experience and relate to somebody in that situation than someone that is
Give me a
just
second, Uzi. I'll be
more
right back.
educated. That's
Yep.
bullshit. You know what I mean?
My shit's
Like,
still
it's
fucking up.
it's really frustrating, and that's just
Yeah.
the entire hiring industry in and of itself, and that's
Mhm.
what you have to deal with. Like,
Oh
it's
god,
just
and you're fighting
bullshit. It's
so
not
much.
fair.
Just to get
It's
hired at a
not
new place,
fair.
you're fighting so much.
Yeah.
The amount of places now that hire through bots, your resume goes through filters before it ever sees a human with an objective opinion of, the
Yes,
quality.
you're
God,
right.
Jesus Christ, it's so hard to get a good job.
You
Yeah.
have to create your resume with buzzwords. If there's anybody listening here that wants to understand how to get a job, when you build your resume, you have to relate your resume directly to
To that
the
job.
job that you're applying for. Not specifically just in general context. The job that you're applying for, you have to include buzzwords in your resume that relate directly to the description of the job that they're presenting and what they're advertising.
Yeah,
Because the
because
only way that you're going to get past that, is it, and get the actual physical.
no, and you know what, Steph? Sad part is, Steph, I can totally agree with you on that. Because when I worked for Tim Hortons back, I got the job October 29th, and I lost it December 15th. So I can totally agree with you, because when it came to my resume was detailed.
Yeah. I'm just hoping to get more time in this company. My resume is littered with a lot of temporary jobs because for a long time there, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And instead of going and researching and looking things up, I would just go and apply for a job and see if I enjoyed it. And I know, you have to make a paycheck, and enjoying your job is like the second part of it. But like, I can't, personally, I can't do a job well if I don't like what I'm doing. You know what I
Yes,
mean? So
absolutely.
like, I would go and I tried um, assisted living care. I tried caring for old people, and I really enjoyed that. I'm a helper. At my core, I am a helping fucking person. I love helping people. I love taking care of people. I love, I love that. I'm a mother at heart, you know what I mean? And that was something that I really enjoyed doing, but the companies surrounding jobs like that are
Where did
so
yours go?
shitty.
Yeah, they really are.
I don't see you online. I can't invite you.
And then,
Oh,
like,
you're already in
from
here.
there, I tried janitorial work. I thought maybe some physical labor would be good for me, and that wasn't that enjoyable. I've tried a lot of different things, so my resume right now is just full of like 3, 4 month jobs, and it's not great. So I'm trying, before I completely give up on this place, I'm really trying to get some time under my belt so it looks like I know how to keep a fucking job.
Where's Stoner? I don't want to put you on the spot, especially in front of people, but where's your education lie? Like
Oh
what
yeah, I'm
education
totally
is
open
it?
about that. Yeah. No, I dropped out of high school. My It was technically my sophomore year, but I should have been in my junior year. I just didn't have enough credits. I've got the education to, finish up, and I've been wanting to go for my GED, but that shit's expensive, dude. That's like $100 for all four of the tests, and if I fail it, it's another $100, and if I fail it, it's another $100. So I really want to try to get the education that I need to continue my education, and that's really, really hard when you don't have money to spare.
Yeah,
That's my main roadblock right now. Cause
is your education.
yeah, cause I don't have my GED. My highest level of education on paper is sophomore. I dropped out. I just started in the retail industry and went to restaurant and worked at an airport. I One thing that I did really enjoy, and I was really sad that I lost that job, I worked in medical billing and coding, so like a desk job, another desk job, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I liked working with numbers. I liked going through patient accounts,
Got
and
you.
I'm really into data entry specifically, and I think that's like my main end goal, like for a career that I can excel at, because I'm good with numbers, I'm good with data, I'm good with stuff like that. So eventually I'd really like to get into some sort of data entry job, but right now I'm really enjoying sales. I think it's super fulfilling, like spiritually, not to get corny, but it's really exciting when you get that really hard sale. You know what I mean? Like that guy that just doesn't fucking want it. And eventually, by the end of the phone call, he started out pissed off, but then, you end it and you got him set up with whatever the fuck he wanted. And it's a fulfilling feeling knowing
Yeah,
that I can
yeah.
do something like that for right now.
Got
But
it.
definitely, I think for like a career that I could do for
No.
decades kind of thing, I'd want to get into like data entry, and that takes education, because no data entry positions are gonna take me on as with the education level that I have currently.
Yeah, but if your drive is for sales, girl, listen, like the money is there. Like the education piece of it, is a piece of paper, because I can tell you from firsthand experience that all you have to have is that piece of paper, and then your opportunities are fucking boundless when it comes to sales. Like, you have that education and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I have a bachelor's in marketing, in as far as college degrees go, and I'm in a software sales position. I started this position in April, and I have never ever fucking sold software. I have no clue what, like, parameters of software or technical talk, anything. I have no fucking clue. The way that I got into this position was my resume and my education and my experience. So what I would encourage you to do is, because I feel like you would be successful in that area. I feel like if you take the opportunity to get that education and get the necessary steps that are responsible to get that degree and get that, just that fucking piece of paper is all you need. You can talk your way into anything, girl. You can talk your way into anything. I'm not lying. I'm not.
I know, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but I really am good at this. Like,
Yes, you are.
I know how to do it, and I'm also, like, in general, I'm a really fast learner with anything, and that's why I've been able to have so many jobs, because as long as you can explain it to me, like, as long as the training is good enough, I can do pretty much anything you ask me to do if I know how to fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those people that I can pick it up right away. Just give me the information that I need and then let me do my thing. I've always been like that with anything. That's why I hated school so much, and that's why I eventually dropped out, because school was one of those things where they want to guide you through everything, and I asked multiple times, multiple different schools, if I could just do online classes, if I could do homeschooling, because I'm one of those people where I just want to do it by myself. Just leave me alone and let me do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there weren't a lot of options like that when I was of school age. So now that I can get my GED, that's something that I can get course materials and just go off and study on my own, and I can show up to the place and do the test on my own. I'd fucking love to do that. It's just, right now, it's not in the cards. There's so much more important shit, like electric and fucking, like, you know what I mean? Rent. They just raised our fucking rent. So right now it's fucking money. That's all it is right now.
But the thing about it is like, if you take the steps to do that kind of thing, if you take the steps to get to that process, like, you're going to be successful. And I can tell you that from experience. I have had a ton of sales experience. I am in depth when it comes to it, and like, the way that you present yourself and the way that you talk, like, I know that this would be something that if you put your drive to, that if you just get that piece of paper, you need one simple entry level experience job to work for maybe 1 year at, and then you have a resume built of, I have the education, I have the piece of paper, I have the 1 year experience, and then you're gonna dive into a job that's gonna make you $60,000-$70,000 a year. Like, you have to devote yourself to gaining that experience, and then at the same time building your education, because if you have the piece of paper and you have the experience to back it, you're going to get into the field that you need to, because of your personality, because of your ability to go into an interview and say, this is what I do, this is what I've done, this is the experience I have, this is how I'm going to approach a sales opportunity, and I know this is what it takes. And you have the ability to jump into an interview and fucking nail it. And all you need is the credentials to back it up. Like,
I know.
That
and
is the difference.
Yeah,
This
and
is the first time.
that's the biggest reason why I want to stick this job out so bad, because they do have all of those programs available to me. They've got so much education-wise, dude. I wish I could show you. They've got this thing called Rowshot Business School, and it's just fucking all the courses to grow yourself as a salesman, you know what I mean? Like, and I want to stick it out here so bad, because I know that they can help me get my GED, which is the biggest thing that I need right now, because I can't go any further without finishing my high school education.
You're correct.
So I need to get my GED, and I know that they can help me with that. And then from there, they've got countless online degree opportunities, and they've got whole ass scholarships and programs where I can go as far as getting my master's in, like, just marketing. And that's something that I really would like to do, because not only for sales, but for, like, I've told Uzi this before, I eventually want to, like, open up a restaurant, because my second passion is cooking, and, like, I would love to do something like that eventually. So if I could get that experience and then, like, get, I don't know, retire and then open up my own little restaurant, that'd be the life goal, I think.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
You're 100% the what you need to concentrate on, and anything that you do is great. Anything that you can do to earn money in the meantime is great, but you need to concentrate on getting that education. You need to concentrate on having that piece of paper.
No!
That's your first step. Your first step is doing that. Do it as quick as possible, Stoner.
Yeah.
As quick as possible. Don't focus funds, extra money, anything on anything else other than your education and progressing your education. Once that's done, once you have that piece of paper, that's when all of the options are open to you. And you can't do anything without having that piece of paper. That's your first and your primary focus. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a piece of paper. Doesn't matter.
But I get what you're saying, and I understand to a degree, but at the same time, I can't. We're just not in a position right now for me to focus all of our money and all of my attention at my education. Like, I can definitely do that part-time, but we've got the two boys, and that's really important. Yeah. Keeping a roof over our head, keeping the lights on, keeping shit up and running. And step one is a car, first of all. Step one is a car, and that's going to take a lot of money, and we're probably going to get stuck having to do something with monthly payments. Dude, we were trying to just buy a car outright from, like, someone online, and it is just not fucking working out, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's been a fun couple of weeks.
My dumbass decided that this kid who said that he was in school, we're assuming high school, but he said that he was in school, he would be out at a certain time, and he could meet and let us look at the car and stuff, and it didn't fucking work out. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. right now. So shit's hard. Shit's hard. It took me what, like 3 months to save $800 for a car, and that's not even. We still need more. We're still gonna need more because we need a down payment at a decent place. One of my coworkers told us about this car lot around here, so we're gonna check that out and see if it's gonna work out for us. But we need a down payment on a car, and then registration, insurance, monthly payments, just money. Money is the issue. Money is the biggest issue. It's always been the fucking issue.
Yeah.
And I can't afford to just focus on my education. I definitely,
Right.
like on my own, I've gone on the library website, and they've got a whole ass GED course study book that you can just um check out. I've been waiting for that to come available so that I can go and check that out, but someone's had it for a really long time now, and I don't know if it's going back there. So hopefully I can get that. But I've been looking into all of my options. You know what I mean? Like, I've looked here and there at like different GED online course material. I found one that was like $75 for like practice tests and um course material and like study guides and stuff like that for all 5 of the subjects, I think it is. So I've looked. I've definitely looked. It's just right now we can't afford to put anything into it that comes straight out of our pockets. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure
Yeah.
out a way to first of all start the conversation about asking for help with something like that at work. But it's hard when we
Right.
don't have a whole lot of time. Like, we get there at 11 o'clock in the morning. My first break is usually around 1 and 3-ish, depending on what time we want to go. With that being said, the front office doesn't open until 9 o'clock in the morning. No, 8 o'clock? It's either 8 or 9 in the morning. And then they close at 3. So I don't have a whole lot of time to talk to anyone up there about that. It's honestly going to be something that, like, I'm going to have to go there on a Friday on my day off and just talk to one of the people up there. But it's hard to figure that out with how crazy and hectic our lives have been lately.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me give you this piece of advice is that I see that you have the ability to be successful. You have the drive and you have the understanding of what it takes to get to that next level. So do everything that you can where you're at in your life, and the steps will fall where they may. And you have to continue to push for that and do everything that you can in your power to take the next step, whether it be step up in your job, whether it be get those education pieces in place to make those next steps. You can do it because what you the way that you talk and the way that you have an understanding for what you go through, it's I see it. I see it. I see it every day. I see people that I work with. I see people that do sales. I see people that have started from sales. In my experience, um, like I know where you're at and what you're going through, and you have
I'm
to
on the
take
clock.
those
What you want?
steps.
Some wheels?
You have to do what it takes. Just keep in mind that as you grind and as you do those
I'll get there
things,
as soon as I
those
can.
shitty ass things nonstop to get to that next level, you'll get there eventually. And you'll build that experience to get to the level that you want to. Because that's all you have. That's all you can do. And like you said, you have to do these things to survive. You have to do these things to pay the bills. You have to do these things to make sure that your ends meet. And while you're doing those things, You're building experience, and you're building credible experience. You're building things that will help you in the future, that you can transition into additional experiences that are going to pay you more based on what you've done to grind and make you who you are. Your life experiences that you're going through and you're doing right now, how hard you're working to make ends meet, and then also get your education in the same sense, is going to put you above and beyond that candidate that just, oh yeah, they need their education. So keep doing what you're doing, keep grinding, but find a way to get your education. Find a way to get those things, because the piece of paper is what matters. It's what gets you in the door, and then your ability to talk and your ability to explain, hey, listen, this person over here may have had the same piece of paper that I have, but they didn't fucking do the shit that I did. They didn't fucking grind the way that I did. I did this. I worked at this fucking job where I stepped up 100% of the time and put this much effort into all the time. And they didn't do that to get where I am. I did it. I did it. That's where I'm different. I'm going to be that person that steps up and puts the effort in. They're not. They might have the piece of paper. I have the piece of paper too, but I fucking earned it.
Yeah.
So that's where the difference comes in. You keep doing what you're doing, and when you can make the moves to make the sacrifice to earn your education, do it. But if you can't right now, it's fine. Just keep doing what you're doing and grind as hard as you can to get that experience and put that on your resume. And don't think anything less of it. Don't think like you're doing a disservice to yourself, because you're not. The work that you're doing right now, that you and Uzi are doing right now, is for you and your family and your kids. Like, you're grinding every day to make things work, to make ends meet. And that's the bottom line. And that's going to pay off when you're able to get the education, you're able to grow your career. If you let yourself, if you beat yourself down from that, that's where it's going to overcome you and ultimately be a disservice to what you're doing. But just keep doing what you're doing, and ultimately your focus is making sure that you get the education possible to further your career and make sure that you're doing the right things that you need to do. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I know.
Don't feel like you're just going through the motions and letting people down. Set a goal. Set something. Set a way that you feel that you can cut corners or do things differently. It's just sacrifices, different things to get ahead in life. It doesn't. It's so different in every scenario. It really is.
Oh, no.
I mean, you have to figure out what's best for you and what approach you can take. But don't ever think that you don't have the ability, because you do. 100% you do. You have the motivation, you have the instinct, and you have the willingness to do it. It's just figuring it out.
Yeah.
It really is.
I know, and I am trying. There's for sure. I mean, there's only so much I could do. You know what I mean, right now.
Oh yeah.
I can plan all I want. Like, just like I do crazy things. Like, I constantly scour Facebook and look for vehicles and check out like housing and apartments. And I'm a planner. I've tried to budget before and stuff like that, but there's only so much I can do, outside of planning and budgeting and, looking at the future. And I've done plenty of that. I know what I have to do, and it's just ability to implement it is what I'm waiting for.
You have to get that education. The education is key. I can't emphasize that enough. It's that's what gets you in the door. The piece of paper, it means nothing. It doesn't matter what it is or what it means. The piece of paper gets you in the door. And when you get in the door, you can express your personality, you can push forward, and you can say the things that they want to hear. But all you have to do is get in the door. You have to get that key. You have to get that exposure. And the education, 100% is key. 100%.
Yeah, I know.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
I know. How the fuck do you turn this thing off? Oh, shut up. No, it's not actually. In case you were wondering, it's R1. So you're welcome for that. I'm stuck. Ah. I know. And I am trying. But like I said, there's only so much I can do right now. But I definitely...
Step by step, girl.
I know. I'm definitely thinking about talking to the... I don't know if it's like specifically considered like education or something. There's a guy that you can talk to at my work, and he'll like sit down and talk with you about an education plan and stuff. And that's kind of what I want to do, but it's just getting in the door, and that's hard right now. The schedule just doesn't line up.
Yeah.
Once we get a second vehicle, like I can probably no problem go on my day off and, you know, go in there and talk to him and not bother any plans or anything. Still be able to get shit done. But I just, the first step right now for sure is getting another vehicle that's able to open up our opportunities a lot more.
Yeah.
Before Uzi came and worked at my job with me, he was working night shift at fucking Taco Bell, and I was sitting there waiting for him to go on breaks or on lunches just so he could give me a ride home. And that was really, really difficult. So we got over that hurdle, and now we're just trying to get a second, better vehicle. And then I can start thinking about stuff like that, because we do need that for sure. We've got right now a family of 4 and a 3-passenger vehicle, and it just doesn't fucking work. So a vehicle is step number 1, and that's what we're mainly focused on right now. But my education is always in the back of my mind. What? What did you say?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because you all joined my job and it reset my cache when I shut down that last time.
But I know, trust me, I know. It's always in the back of my mind. I've always been thinking about it for a really long time.
I'm kind of done with GTA. I think I might want to go Red Dead.
It's just getting the money and the opportunity to go for something like that, because even if I did get help from my job, I'd still have to find time to go and take the tests.
Yeah.
And that's hard to figure out, because they've only got certain dates that they'll do it at certain times, so I'd probably have to get time off of work. And right now, that's just not a fucking option. They're not even letting me and Uzi take Halloween off so that we can take the boys out trick-or-treating. If we want to get out early that day, we have to go in early. Like, they're hurting for hours right now. And it really sucks, because, like, before, I was working a shit ton of overtime, and it was awesome, and it helped out with paychecks a lot, but now it feels like overtime isn't as easily available. Like, and when it is available, we're not ready for it.
Right.
What do you think about going and playing Red Dead stuff? You wanna go Red Dead for a little
I'm
bit?
down with that, yeah.
Alright.
I'm muted.
I'm out of this bitch.
Someone muted me and I don't know why. That makes me sad.
I muted you.
Nerd, where's Nerd?
There's just quiet.
Nerd, speak. Oh, Nerd, you can join in, buddy. Have you thought
You're
about
good at grown-up
colleges
talk.
yet?
This is very grown-up talk. You're right.
Like semi-driving? Yeah. Yeah, that'll make you bank, but you gotta be clean.
Wait, are we going to Red Dead Uzi?
Yeah, I'm loading up now.
All right.
That'd be a